got me stranded like a branch in the wind. Tell me what you long for. Oh, I want what you want.
WildChild is still on her 350 nautical mile mission to make it from Marsh Harbor, Bahamas to Florida and back. We just finished riding out the Nasty in Crab Cay. Now we have to make our way to Great Sail Cay to get ready for our jump across the Gulf Stream. The sun is rising on a beautiful day, and it looks like conditions will be okay for us to make the next leg. As WildChild's captain, I'm busy doing my Captain Lexi thing, and that's to obsess over the weather forecasts, to try to analyze all of the data, to try and find our window to cross. Most of the mistakes that most captains make is during this stage of planning. It looks like in 3 days the north component might come out of the winds. Then we might have our opportunity to make the Gulf Stream crossing to Florida soon. And if you pay attention to the information I'm giving you in these images, the wind is coming directly from where we need to go, from the mouth of Crab Cay. Well, it's time to go, guys. So it's Easter Sunday. We have the wind dead on the nose, so we're not protected in the anchorage anyways. We got a motor against this for about 10 miles, and then hopefully we can bear off, get some wind angle, and go to Great Sail Cay. Weather's great. Skies are blue, sun is shining. Winds are relatively calm, but stronger than they were forecast to be. And WildChild is ready to go. Let's start this 160 nautical mile journey. Alina, what's the winds right now? Wind strength, TWS. 10, 11 knots. Oh, that is what's expected. So, okay, I guess this is the winds that are forecast. Film your brave captain getting hurt like that. Alright guys, let's do this crazy thing. Okay, you can cut it. So the new bridle harness has worked great. So what I did to prevent the rope from chafing is I put a block in there. And now the block prevents the rope from chafing and divides the weight of the chain to the two cleats, leaving the chain up top kind of loose. So that was my solution to my chafing problem on the bridle harness before, and it worked great. Well, I just finished getting the anchor up. With Alina's help, she helps me get the Sentinel anchor up, and then we got the main Rockna anchor up again. But our bow roller, I keep replacing it with these rubber rollers, and they just disintegrate. They can't handle the kind of pressures and loads. I really need to find us like an aluminum metal bow roller or something stronger. I've been thinking like maybe if I can find a 2-inch piece of pipe, like 2-inch diameter, and I cut it 2 inches wide, and then I have a loose metal pipe over the main pin, it'll still roll. But the rubber replacements we keep wasting time to put in just aren't holding. They can't take the stress loads. Okay. How's our course? Like, deep water, all good? Chart Potter says we're happy? Alright. So, let's see, it's 9:34 a.m., Sunday, April 21st. It's Easter Sunday. And WildChild is now leaving Crab Cay anchorage in 10 to 12 knots of wind on the nose, sunny skies, and relatively calm seas. So we motor for 2 hours and then we get our wind angle and we bear off and then we start sailing. Let's do this crazy thing. Nobody at the helm of WildChild as WildChild drives herself out of the anchorage because Alina doesn't want to be on film. Fine, I'll be on film. So though WildChild's driving herself, the two of us are sitting here and we're babysitting. The good news is we're at high tide right now, so we have plus 3.2 feet to whatever depth we see on the chart plotter. And to get out, we should see a minimum of 12 feet plus 3, so we should have 15 feet to get out of this anchorage. And for the Bahamas, 15 feet is very deep water. We're not going very fast though. We're dead into 13 knots of wind and 1 foot waves. We're doing like 2.6 knots, 3 knots. It's pretty standard for us girls on WildChild to always be tethered in. Better safe than sorry, and there's no risk to tether in. Sailing book.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then about to go sailing.
What's too much?
WildChild is motoring dead into the wind again. It's not a strong wind, but we're not going very fast. You can see these little choppy waves are kind of pounding on us. And we're losing speed to it. Let me see if I can show you. You can see the wave period is not really good for our boat, and we're smashing into it all the time. So WildChild's really not making great speed. We're at 9 over 3.7. We just can't get a wind angle to sail. We need the wind to come more to starboard. If it falls off 10 more degrees, we can fall off our course. Maybe 10 degrees once we gotta get kind of around the corner a bit, and then we can fall off. And we could give 10 degrees, but we need the wind to come around 10 degrees. And we've been running the engine, and you can see our nasty little overheat alarm light is kind of going. And we're okay. I mean, we're at 181 degrees for the engine temperature, but if it comes up 10 degrees more, we're gonna get the overheat alarm. So we're running the engine at 2100 RPMs. You know, it's like a balance. Like if I go more RPMs, then I more risk an overheat, but then we go faster. You know, we would like to be motoring at 5 knots, but because we're dead into it, and we're getting just constantly pounded by these waves, we're kind of lucky to maintain 4. And I don't want to push the, I'd rather go slowly at 4 and not push the engine than push the engine and overheat and then end up drifting backwards. But if we don't get an improvement in the wind angle, we probably won't make it to, oh boy, we probably won't make it to Great Sail Cay. If it stays like this all day, we won't make it. We may have to pull off into an island somewhere, anchor, and then maybe go finish it at night, or add it to the miles we do tomorrow. We're not sure. For those of you that follow the YouTube channel, you know how much I hate motoring, and I hate this. Like we've been motoring dead into the wind and dead into the waves for 3 hours now, and we're not making a lot of progress. Like we are going 3.7 knots because the waves are just pounding the crap out of us. It's not awful, but we're just not making forward speed. I know all you senior sailors out there are saying get rid of that folding prop and buy a bigger propeller and put a new engine in, and you need bigger, better, more power and more horsepower. Men, calm down. WildChild is as she is, and she's a sailing boat, and the one point of sail we can't do is in irons. We're not getting a break from the wind. The wind angle is supposed to start to fall off, and it isn't. And as we slowly kind of come around the corners, so too does the wind. This isn't going well for us. So we've been motoring for probably 3 hours, at like between 3 and 4 knots, and we're not making a lot of progress. So we come from down here in Crab Key. 3 hours later, we're only here. So that is maybe 12 miles in the last 3 hours. We're not doing so great. And we are still, there's Great Sail Cay. In a straight line, we're still 22.5 miles in a straight line from Great Sail. And we're motoring, and that's where the wind is. You can see my red and green. The wind is right here. We can't seem to get a wind angle on it. We need the wind to come to the side a bit, and it's not. So all freaking day motoring straight into the wind and waves. Oh, you should have seen those waves smash off the side. All day motoring straight into it is a very sucky day on a sailboat. We are not exactly having a great sail. So we've been under engine for about 4.5 hours, and it's warm out here. I'm worried about overheating the engine. We're kind of right on the edge of the engine overheat alarm. So what I did is I opened up the engine room hatch to let the hot air from the engine room come out to help the engine cool. The good news is the wind angle is starting to improve a little bit, and what we're hoping is that if we come up into here another couple miles, we can bear off and maybe get a sailing angle to kind of head out. It's wider now as the mainland opens up and this opens, so we do have room to tack. So what I want to try to do is get at least 2 more miles into there, raise the sail, bear off, see if we can start tacking our way through. Give the engine a break and give us a break. So I want you to tighten first, Cunningham. Don't lean on that thing. Find the blue rope first, Cunningham. Tight, let's go. No, you can pull it locked. Just pull for all you're worth. Good. Come back.
That's it?
Yep, stay clipped. You're good. Come back and keep your head below the boom. Head down. And bam, WildChild is under sail. So Alina just finished pulling in the Jenny. She's got it tight as a board. Our main sail's super tight. A bit of a curve in it, but... And our wind angle's pretty good, actually. We're at 43. The engine's in neutral right now, idling, because I'm just leaving it cooling. We can actually probably bring this up. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 degrees up into the wind. The engine's in neutral, so this is all by sail. And we're 6.7 over 3.0 at a 41 degree wind angle. We're sailing upwind. That's good. And now that it's wider here, if we have to, we have room to tack. If we need to, like if we have trouble clearing the shoal, we have room to tack back and forth. Maybe we can spend the rest of the day sailing instead of motoring. I got her real tight to the wind right now, though. Well, we're under control by sail, so it's time for that magic moment where we kill the engine and we get to enjoy the peaceful sounds of sailing on only the ocean and the wind. The wind and the water. So we're 8 over 2.6. falling off 3 degrees. Yeah, you can join me now. This is like sailing porn. These are images that make real sailors happy inside. We love the sight of this. It's so beautiful. WildChild is such a good girl. We're making miles now.